Meet Arya. She is 8 years old, orphaned, and surviving on the absolute fringe of her village. In the blue pre-dawn light, she is already at work, relying on grueling manual labor just to secure her next meal. In the center of the village, the Zamindar family lives by a different set of rules. To them, material wealth is the only metric of human worth. They view Arya's poverty as a justification for daily mockery. This environment creates a harsh paradox. In a system where inherited capital holds all the power and poverty is met with humiliation, does moral integrity actually have a function? Is there any measurable value in being a good person when the system seems designed to punish it? Arya meets this daily hostility with a specific kind of resilience. She maintains her own internal standards of behavior, choosing to remain cheerful rather than mirroring the transactional cruelty of those around her. The breaking point occurs when an old woman collapses on the village road. The wealthy residents walk past her, calculating that helping a stranger offers no immediate return on their time. Arya stops. She carries the woman to her hut and gives up her own meager food rations to stabilize her. She takes a significant hit to her own survival resources to help someone who can offer her nothing in return. This diagram illustrates the two competing models. On the left, the village's standard transactional loop. Wealth is hoarded and never leaves the circle. On the right, Arya's character investment. She inputs a high-cost resource into a stranger, creating an open-ended variable with no guaranteed payout. By ignoring the typical social hierarchy, this act of compassion introduces a new variable into the village's social equation, starting the first phase of the karma engine. The old woman eventually directs Arya to a hidden chest in the forest. In a standard fable, this is where we would expect to find a massive windfall of gold to solve all of her problems. But there is no gold here. Inside the chest are only strange, dark seeds in burlap pouches and ancient, handwritten agricultural texts. These items are essentially inert potential. Without a massive investment of physical and mental labor, these seeds and texts have no market value. This is the opportunity toll. If Arya isn't willing to endure the labor required to decode the texts and cultivate the soil, the contents of the chest remain entirely worthless. Compassion provided the initial access to these resources, but relentless effort is the specific requirement for translating that access into a tangible result. Arya begins that work, spending months translating the texts into action. While the village continues to mock her, she manages to get these rare sprouts to break the surface of the dry, cracked earth. The result is the first measurable output of the engine. The harvest is of such high quality that it sells for a premium in the city. Gradually, Arya's small hut is replaced by a functional, beautiful home. Seeing this success, the Zamindar's wife attempts to bypass the labor requirement. She steals a portion of the seeds, expecting to replicate Arya's results on her own land. This diagram shows why the theft fails. In the top equation, Arya's labor creates an exponential yield. In the bottom equation, stolen opportunity without earned labor yields 0. Because the opportunity was disconnected from dedicated labor, the entire mechanism collapses. Ultimately, compounding success cannot be hacked. It is exclusively tied directly to the specific mechanics of the worker's own effort. A year later, a severe drought strikes the region. Standard crops wither in the heat, and the village is suddenly facing the reality of starvation. The Zamindar's material wealth is suddenly useless. All the gold in the world cannot conjure food or sustain a community when the environment collapses. But Arya's specialized crops survive. Almost overnight, the previously mocked orphan holds more leverage over the local economy than the wealthiest families. She chooses to reject the typical transactional response. Rather than charging high prices, she distributes her harvest freely to the starving villagers. By choosing compassion over profit, she transforms her personal success into a regional solution. She effectively breaks the village's cycle of transactional cruelty. The village's resilience during the drought draws attention from the wider region. When government inspectors arrive to understand why one small area thrived while others failed, they find Arya's agricultural systems in place. This leads to her appointment as a district advisor. Arya uses this new authority and the resources that come with it to scale her impact. She funds construction of a school, a fully equipped modern hospital, and an orphanage in the village. This infrastructure ensures that no future child will have to start from the same baseline of suffering that she did. This diagram shows the self-sustaining mechanism. The surplus generated by individual labor and character is reinvested into the community, creating a feedback loop where individual success directly enables the development of the entire village.